Hi there! Welcome to Becoming the Self-Led Woman podcast. My name is Monica, and this is a weekly podcast for modern women in which we will explore different topics such as self-leadership, personal growth, financial empowerment, feminine wisdom, all sorts of things that help us understand how can we navigate nowadays as a modern woman. You can think of it as a coffee chat that you can have with an older sister. So here I am as your older sister, that I am sharing honest, supportive, practical insights that can help you create the life that feels more aligned, more empowered, and really more heart-led and authentic. So this week, let's talk about how we can reconnect to our inner wisdom, our intuition, our creativity, because these are actually very important and very precious, especially when we want to create the life that we want. However, in the modern society, it's often really hard to do so, and we are actually often disconnected from this because we are living in this 24-hour cycle of hustling, of going out to the world, achieving things, drink another coffee and push ourselves even more. So we are often pushing our bodies in the name of action and productivity, and it often kills our creativity and numbs our inner wisdom. So imagine that you have a cup of water with lots of little glitters inside, lots of precious nuggets from your creativity and inner wisdom. However, if you're often stirring the cup and creating waves, you cannot really see these glitters and the nuances of the glitters until the cup is really not stirring and the water calms down. So then you can see it again. So the things that comes from our intuition and our creativity, it's often similar to this. And when we are able to slow down a little bit more, we begin to slow down this water inside of us. And then we can begin to pay attention to those glitters within us. So let me ask you, when was the last time that you could actually slow down? Enjoy life, enjoy a scenery, enjoy a cup of tea or latte, or even a hot shower. Or if you're feeling more luxurious, when was the last time that you enjoyed a nice bath? With a bath bomb, a book, a movie, and just savoring the taste, savoring the sensation, savoring the moment without your mind thinking of the next things that you have to do in your endless to-do list that we all have nowadays. And I get it because it's so hard really to slow down when there is so much to do, right? And I can share that I often find myself walking so fast from one place to another, trying to just do everything. And when I finish one thing, instead of savoring it, I'm already thinking about the next thing. But then when we are not able to really slow down and take a moment for ourselves, when we are in this constant mind management, it can slowly take a toll on us, not just on our bodies, but our emotions as well. So we feel more drained, we feel less patient. And then we cannot really sleep well, we cannot really eat well. Because to eat something and to digest something, our body also needs to not be in a stressful state. So when we are often in this accelerated way of living, we are really in this chronic stress. And honestly, chronic stress ages us faster, okay, ladies? And I can really share with you that some time ago, during my most stressful moments in my life, it was when I was having all these skin problems, and my skin looked like a few more years, really. older. So if you ask me, Monica, of course I know that slowing down, living in a calmer, less stressful manner, having less things maybe even in the to-do list would of course help a lot. But how can we really do that in the real life, in the modern daily life? So I am going to give you a few suggestions that you can do in different moments in your daily life so that it can really help you to begin being more in tune with yourself. For example, when you're taking a shower, I would suggest that in these moments you can try to slow down and actually focus on the sensations. Like, for example, how does the water feel like when it falls on your body? And what is the temperature? How does it feels like in your body? And when you are putting shampoo or putting on soap on your body, try to do it slower and more intentionally by feeling, for example, how your hand is passing by your skin and how it feels for your skin. And I get it that many women, including myself often, we usually try to take this shower as fast as possible, like just another to do item in our checklist. But when you can mindfully focus on how you're feeling in the moment and try to not think so much about the to do list or what you have to do or whatever happened in your daily life, and whenever you notice your mind getting busier, gently focus again your attention on the sensations of your body, on, for example, how does the soap, the scent is like, how does it smell like, and how pleasant it feels like to smell it. Then you are really gently reminding yourself to pay attention to the current moment and really focusing on yourself, on how you are really feeling in this moment. And when you finish the shower, when you put on lotion, try to do it in a slower manner as well. And if possible, enjoy the sensation, enjoy the massage that you might even give to yourself, the sensation of touch of your own hands. And again, whenever I do this, I often do this in a very fast manner, as if, oh, I have something else to do, or I need to, finish this fast. But then when we remember to slow down and to enjoy it, we are really giving ourselves a moment, like not stirring so much the water in the cup and letting the glitter really settle so then we can appreciate the glitters. And the same thing with when you are drinking a coffee, latte, tea, or eating a snack, try to savor the moment and savor the taste. Like, what is the texture? What is the temperature of the drink? How pleasant it is. For example, if you're drinking a iced latte, then how pleasant it is when it is summer. And if you're in the winter, how tasty it is the hot chocolate that you're drinking. And you can also try to remember what are the things that can feel like really comfortable and nourishing. For example, my favorite things to do is whenever I wake up, for example, during the weekends. I don't really have a set time to wake up. Then what I really like is to slowly get up. And when I wake up, I don't immediately get out of the bed and I enjoy staying in the bed for a little longer. And we often have this idea that, oh, if I am not doing anything, that I am not being productive, and then I feel guilty about it. However, what I really learned as I embraced this journey is that slowing down can actually be much more productive than simply pushing and pushing. Because often creative ideas and nudges of intuitions, they come from these moments when you are not really forcing anything and just pausing. So another thing that I would highly recommend is that during your daily lives, or even if just a few times per week, or even a few times per month, if you can find a few minutes and really listen to your favorite music and then just allow yourself to dance and even sing however you like, this can actually be really good to de-stress the body and allow it to express in the way it wants. Because often, many of us, what we often have to do is that, oh, I need to have this posture, I need to be strong, I need to carry things on. Then we have all this tension accumulated in the body, especially on our back, on our shoulders. But when we allow ourselves to decompress and de stress through free movement that is inspired and guided by the music that we like, it can be really liberating and it really liberates the tension in our body. And I know that for many ladies, it can feel awkward, especially if you're not used to dancing. But I can tell you that if you just, give it a try, maybe a few times when you have some free time, and allow yourself to explore how good it might feel, how fun it might be, and it might surprise you really. And before, years ago, I was so awkward with dancing. I was often thinking, oh, I'm not really a good dancer. I never learned to dance. However, as I gave this a try, eventually I get past this awkwardness and really started to enjoy it. And I can tell you that I did this in ecstatic dances, which are events that they have music. And then people are just free to move and dance the way they want. And I can tell you that many of us are not really awesome dancers, but no one actually is watching anyone. And everyone is just moving in the way that they allow themselves to experience. So this is actually a way to explore how you're feeling in the moment, what emotions you are feeling, and how does it feel in your body. So even if you do it just a few minutes, can already be very therapeutic. So another thing that I would highly recommend, and this you can do it also in your daily life, is that whenever you walk, you can try to slow down with your walk, especially if you are a fast walker generally, like I used to be. Because I've always been this woman that walks fastly from one place to another, and I'm always in a hurry to go to work, in a hurry to get my child to school and from school, etc. But when you can walk slower, it's actually helping your nervous system to be calmer so that you don't have this edginess with you. You know the edginess that when you drink coffee? So when you are slowing down, you are actually having the opposite effect. And then one last thing that I can suggest that is really easy to do is whenever you catch yourself in a very edgy or fast paced, what you can do is simply pause for a second and just take a deep breath. As my teacher likes to say and recommend us to often do. So, when you take a deep breath as deep as you can into your belly and then exhale slowly, it is already signaling to your body that it is safe to slow down. And There is a mysterious magnetism when someone actually slows down. There is a beautiful grace surrounding a person that can intentionally slow down and live in the moment. Because in the world where everyone is hurrying, seeing someone slowing down and being so graceful is actually really attractive and magnetic. So, if you find this really interesting, I would like to invite you for this week to try to see what are, for example, 2 or 3 things that you can incorporate and do in your daily life that can really help you slow down. And I really hope that bit by bit you are getting more and more in touch and reconnect with your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your creativity.